ultimate showdown. 2 writers, 2 fanfiction scripts. And only you can choose which one wins. It's the fanfiction showdown.
Hello and welcome to the Fanfiction Showdown. This week we're doing Frasier. Fanfiction Showdown is a show where 2 writers go head-to-head in a battle to the death. We live read their fanfiction scripts, and then you, the chat, the people watching, will decide who's the winner. That's right. We give an incredible amount of power to just nobodies like yourself. I'm
started with
Ed. I haven't introduced you yet.
Shut up.
All right,
Ed can talk if he wants.
Wait, shush.
it's raining in Seattle.
I didn't even introduce myself yet, Ed. Okay. Ed gets a red card off the bat. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, Ed.
Dad died.
My name is Ben O'Brien. And I'm the host. And I'm here to oversee the chaos and the madness. I'm like a narc, okay? I basically just keep things rolling, keep things moving, yell at my friends. I tell them mean things about themselves so they feel bad and stop talking.
Ed,
So,
shut up.
because when people feel bad, they stop talking. Okay, so we have a special guest with us. I'm really excited to introduce him because he's my 29th best friend. He's Ed Schrader. Now, Ed is a Frasier-loving comedian. He's also a talk show host. He's most prominently a musician. Ed, welcome to the show.
I like that. I'm like a narc. It's a very Nelly Furtado, if you will. Thank you so much, guys, for having me, guys and gals. I don't say gals. People. What am I, from the 20s? No, but this is normally the time of night where I actually watch Frasier. At this point, I'm usually ensconced in a cocoon of beige and just becoming engulfed with the essence of Frasier. I mean, in a TV way, not like nothing sexual. I don't know
Cool.
Even though they're standing over my shoulder right there like a sword of Damocles.
That's great. Yes, you are a huge Frasier fan. Ed actually used to run a Twitter account that would post Frasier screenshots,
Frasier picking
which sounds kind of like a sad thing to do, but I think people actually followed it and it was cool.
Well, Netflix
Okay.
stopped it.
Ed, shut up.
Okay,
Okay.
Ed, shut
It's
up.
on Hulu now. It's on Hulu.
Everybody
Okay,
needs
turn
to
this
shut
thing
up.
off.
This is already falling apart. Okay, now, this is the fan fiction showdown, okay? It's not the fan fiction chit chat. So we have to introduce our contestants. This week, just like last week, we've got my 5th best friend. Or wait, I can't remember who I'm introducing first. Robby Ratcliffe. Are we introducing Robby first?
Hey, Ben, how are you doing tonight?
Robby
It's
Ratcliffe,
so
Mike.
great to be here. Be back in the fan fiction showdown with you, the host. I wish
Great.
Ed would shut up, and we had gotten a different guest.
How excited are you about Frasier? How are you excited about Frasier?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Frasier. I don't know a lot about Frasier, but you know the old saying, write what you know. So what I did was I took that and I wrote Frasier by writing what I knew.
Great. Said
I
like,
hope that goes really well for you,
Okay,
Robby.
great. Shut the. Okay, so up next, our next contestant in the fanfic showdown is my 2nd best friend, Cricket Harrison.
Hello. Hi, Ben. Robby, I'm sorry for that rude comment just a second ago. I always get a little nervous right before I come on to something that's so important to me. Ben, happy to be your 2nd best friend. Really hoping to work my way up in the ranks. Ed, always a pleasure to see
Ed,
you.
shut up.
Hey, Robby, Ed is our guest. Ed is our guest, and more than that, he's our friend, and he's a shining light of humanity, and I would appreciate it if you would be just a little nice to him. Now, Robby,
I think you should shut up, too.
I think...
Okay, all right, that's a red card.
Entertaining the troops here.
Okay, so Cricket, you don't get to finish what you were gonna say. I don't know why. I'm sorry, but that happened just now.
No,
Okay.
that's okay, Ben. I'm happy
We
with
don't
that.
have to continue this.
Whatever you decide, I just want to let you know I'm really happy with.
Okay, I also want you to let you know that people pleasing is a form of manipulation. Okay, so now we're on. We have to move on. Because again, this is a battle. This is a fan fiction showdown. Okay, so as you've noticed, when something's bad, I give them this. Okay, and also when something's good, I go like that. And we have to move on to the rules. Robby, why are you texting me?
I'm not texting you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you have a Robby? Do you have a drawing again?
I do have a drawing. I wish I wasn't going to say anything, but then you said something about it, so I think you should show my drawing.
Robby,
you
I
agreed
said
last week.
This is how I get extra
This isn't
points.
a drawing show. It's a writing show.
Yeah,
it's about
for you
drawings that
because
happen in your
you won
mind.
last week, and I have an
right.
incredible ability to describe things with words with pictures.
We don't have time for this.
Please show the drawing. There it is. That's Frasier.
Oh my God.
That's Frasier.
Robby.
What's going on with his eyebrows? Have you ever seen eyebrows before?
Can I get a check on which direction his thumbs are facing?
He's a bit Henry
Is that
Rollins.
right?
If you put your hands up, that's where your thumbs go.
All right. Okay. No
they
more
go on the
drawing.
inside.
So thank you, Frasier, for being my drawing, and I would like to move on.
I knew that Robby was going to be a cheat, and I made a little drawing too.
Okay.
Can I show my drawing? There it is. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's a chair.
That's the chair from Frasier, which some might say is the heart of the show, because it's the dad's chair, and Frasier doesn't want it in his apartment, but then he makes room for it the way he makes room for his family in his heart. The way that I make room for Robby in my heart.
I would like to say something now that Cricket has said something, which is that I knew that Cricket was going to try to undercut me with her drawing, so I made a second Frasier drawing.
Are you serious? Robby?
There he is.
No.
Who the fuck is that?
God.
That's Frasier.
What? How is that also Frasier? That looks like it was drawn by a different person.
What happened?
Like that BuzzFeed article where it's like, check out drawings someone made on acid. Okay.
Just want to reiterate again that drawings do not go into the scoring. They don't. This is a fan fiction. This is a fan fiction show. It's not a drawing show.
So, we're done with drawings.
And the rules say that I can draw 2 drawings and get more points.
Everybody, forget the drawings ever happened. We're going on to the rules.
Hell yes. Ben, you rule.
Thanks, man.
People pleasing is a form of manipulation, Robby.
Okay, so just like any good competition, we've got rules. The overall rules, these never change. These are the same every week, no longer than 7 pages. We got to keep things tight. One character at some point must say we're about halfway through. That's so I know. Frasier rules. Frasier uses the bathroom with the door open. Daphne lists all of the characters in Frasier. Niles reveals he's carrying a taser. The line, dinner is ruined. Frasier hides under the piano. Daphne destroys a priceless work of art. Niles refuses to take off potholder gloves. Every few minutes, Frasier's house shakes. Niles bangs his foot really hard. All of these things must be included in the script. When you get one of them, I raise the card. Dang. If you miss any of them, that's huge problem. Huge points off. And honestly, it doesn't really have any problem. There's really doesn't make any difference, except we all know that you fucked up. Okay. Great. Now, let's see. First script. Oh, we got to do the coin flip.
Thank you, Ben.
It's time for the coin flip.
I do the drawing behind the rules.
Do I get the coin?
No, I'm flipping it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Impartial.
Yeah, he's the host, Ed, so shut up.
Cricket goes first.
Oh, I'm really excited about this. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Should I go?
Go ahead, Cricket. Tell us about your script.
Okay, I'm going to go. Does everybody have the script? My script is called For the Love of Cod. It's written by Cricket Ariston, and Ben, I would love it if you would read the stage directions.
Naturally.
Ed, if you would play Niles, I would be
my pleasure, my honor.
And Robby, if you could play Frasier, because I know you're such a good actor, and I think you can really be the heart of the script. So
I agree with that. I disagree with this entire script, but I do agree with your what you just said.
Okay, and I'm gonna play Daphne. Okay, so Ben, whenever you're ready, you can take it away. For the Love of Cod.
Okay, I just wanted to note that I turned my hat backwards. Okay,
Okay.
this is a thing that I do when we start reading. It's kind of like
Louis
how
CK.
if you watch
Before he did
Ninja, Ninja puts on when Ninja wins a Fortnite battle, he puts on a
Is this
headband.
in my time? I don't like talking about ninja.
No, but I do
ninjas.
need to. You're right. I need to start the timer. Okay, start. Now,
Not an infighting here.
For the Love of God by Cricket Eric.
Cod. For the love of cod.
Frasier's apartment. Frasier is walking around kissing each piece of furniture and saying aloud how much it cost. We hear cooking noises from the kitchen. The door bursts open. Enter Niles, carrying a copy of the Seattle Times.
Frasier, did you hear the Opera House is adding some exclusive new seating where your box is a sauna that you sit in while you see the show. Now that's what I call sweating to the oldies.
Yes, Niles, I got my invitation to the Libretto Sweato Club weeks ago. Did you?
Mine.
Wait,
Can we
wait.
just take that? Can we start? Can we? No.
Yes,
Robby,
Niles. Yes, I got it. Yes, Niles, I got my invitation to the Libretto Sweato Club weeks ago. Did you just get yours?
My invitation? I just read about it in the Seattle Society pages.
Oh, dear. It says here that the hag, Mrs. Winsworth, has taken the first box. Too bad. I'll have to look at her roasting away the whole time. Goodbye, Madam Butterfly. Hello, Madam's butt.
That's an
No.
opera joke.
Now, Frasier, you're telling me you received an invitation?
Yes, of course, Niles. It's invitation only. I'm surprised you didn't get one. After all, we're both members of the Opera d'Opera L'Opera Society. Oh, but I forgot. My membership is at gold level.
As Frasier says gold level, his voice drops an octave and the entire apartment shakes. There we go. That's the first one.
Pretty good.
Stop
You
that.
can keep it up every few minutes.
Stop that, Frasier. Are you going to opening night? I dread to mention it, but the first production will be Mozart's The Magic Flute.
Frasier dashes underneath the piano and cowers in fright.
Niles, you know not to mention that opera around me ever since I staged my production at recess, and all the other kindergarteners beat me into a coma without my period accurate flute prop.
Could you take that again, Robby?
Flute prop.
From the top.
My period accurate flute prop.
From the top of your line, Robby.
Niles, you know not to mention that I staged my production at recess, and all the other kindergarteners beat me into a coma with my period accurate flute prop.
Period accurate flute
Flute
prop.
prop.
Period accurate flute prop.
We
Flute prop.
gotta get this moving, everybody. Come on.
That's
It's a-
funny.
it's
I remember
flute
that
prop.
happening at your production of the final installment of Wagner's Ring Cycle.
Gold dammering, Niles.
Wait,
That
I
was
need to interrupt you, Robby. Götterdämmerung is the final installment of Wagner's Ring Cycle, and this is kind of an opera pun where Niles mentions the final installment of Wagner's Ring Cycle, and then it's important that you say it like Götterdämmerung, Niles, like God damn it, but it's Götterdämmerung. It's an opera pun.
Götterdämmerung, Niles.
Good, yeah, good.
That was in the second grade, and you know not to mention that opera around me either. Don't dredge up these old memories.
You being a Freudian psychiatrist, I would have thought you'd enjoy that kind of thing.
And you being a Jungian psychiatrist, I'm surprised you know enough about the field to understand that memories have anything to do with it.
They glare at each other. Daphne enters carrying a stack of plates that reaches all the way to the ceiling.
Tuffing toast, porridge wompies.
Sorry, Niles, you'll have to translate. You know I can't understand a word that Manchesterian charwoman utters.
Manchesterian charwoman.
Manchesterian charwoman?
You know I can't understand a word that Manchesterian charwoman
all right.
utters.
Okay.
You gotta keep it moving.
She says the focaccia is ready. The puff pastries are on the skewers and the cod fillets are poofing up nicely.
What? That's backwards. We're having cod rods and poofed puff pastries, not pastry rods and cod poofs. Dinner is ruined. It's a green card.
Veroni scally scrod tooth wanklers.
What did she say?
It's something about a place you can shove your, let's say, cod rod. I didn't catch it exactly.
My God, Niles, the entire board of Opera d'Opera L'Opera Society will be here in 15 minutes, and I promised them my special cod rods. If they don't get them, they might demote me from gold level to
Don't say it, Frasier. Not now.
Grand Tier Balcony level.
Real laugh.
As Frasier bellows, the apartment begins to shake again, which confirms that she's got the real thing. The precarious stack of plates that Daphne is carrying tilts left, then right, then smash. The entire stack crashes down, right upon Frasier's prized collection of Edwardian ink bottle art. The bottles shatter, and ink spatters all over Niles' hands. Niles lets out an ear-splitting shriek and recoils as though scalded with boiling water.
Ah, my hands! My beautiful hands!
I just want to say that was a priceless work of art being destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was really, I love the way you did that line, Ed.
Thank you.
Niles staggers frantically around the apartment, covering absolutely every surface with inky handprints.
Stop it, Niles!
You don't understand, Frasier. These were my opera hands, my beautiful, clean opera hands, and now the Opera Dopera Lopera Lopera Society will never let me move beyond.
Niles, no!
Beyond the...
Scraping Ninties!
Beyond the standing room only level!
The apartment shakes like never before. Every bottle of sherry shatters. The balcony falls off. Ham Winston from the upstairs screams as he plummets to his death outside. The apartment is wreckage, smashed and covered in ink handprints. Niles pokes his head out from under an Eames chair.
Oh, well, I suppose we'll have to move the dinner from your apartment to mine. I live in the Montana, and it's even more exclusive than your building, the Elliott Bay Towers. Anyway, we're about halfway through the time we have left, so we'd better go.
And that's a time for our mid-script break. All right. If you're just tuning in, this is the Fan Fiction Showdown, and we're halfway through Cricket's script. We're doing Frasier today. Thank you for checking it out. Now, Cricket, while we're doing this mid-script break, I just want to get a little understanding. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship to Frasier? Maybe some sort of memory of watching Frasier, something personal.
Frasier is like a weighted blanket for my psyche. I put it on and it soothes me down and it comforts me. And when I was moving across the country, it was all I could watch. My partner came home unexpectedly while I was watching Frasier, and I burst into tears. And I said, "I am watching Frasier," and that's sort of like what it encapsulates for me. Is it gets to my core. It gets to my core. I love Frasier.
Great. I wasn't paying attention to that, but hopefully everyone else was.
I think it's pretty good.
Now, going to the chat, we're going to check in. We're going to check the temperature on the chat. So what I'm hearing is this is a strong start for the scripts from Kicklock.
Thank you, Kicklock.
And then Mossy Lump says, "I know this must be hard for Robby to perform Cricket's script, but he is killing it."
Thank you, Mossy Lump. I do feel like I do get points for the voting from that reading.
Robby, could I give you a couple notes while we're talking about your acting performance?
No, you
because
can't.
I think one of the things about Frasier's voice is that it's very mellifluous. Do you know that word?
Well,
yeah,
it means
the other thing about Frasier is
and you're kind of reading it like this. And I think Frasier is known for these wild crescendos.
I also wanted to say that Robby started reading it like a robot, and then all of a sudden went into like hey, you see, I'm Frasier Crane.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And it was kind of weird.
Psychiatrist the game.
It's called picking up votes, and you guys should try doing it. Then Cricket and all you can. I
real
get the most
vote
votes.
picker-uppers don't have to bend over to do it, Robby.
So,
think about that for a second.
So,
Ed, I think you're doing
some people are already on the floor
job.
sucking up the votes with their mouths, and that's where I am.
Okay. So we have, so I want to end on this. I want to end the mid-script break on this comment from Sage. They say, highbrow opera comedy that no one can pick up on that Cricket has to explain. Points for or points against? And I think that's really, I think that really is the question right now. So let's get ourselves back into this script.
May I address that?
Nope. Let's get ourselves back into this script. And if you're just tuning in, we're halfway into Cricket script, and here's what's happened so far. I really have no idea what's going on in this script whatsoever, but it has something to do with the opera, and Frasier really likes the opera, and so does Niles. They both like the opera.
Can I give
No.
I think Ed actually knows
Ed,
what's been happening. I think
let
Ed's been
Ed give a
following
summary.
along.
Let
All
Ed give a
right,
summary.
give the quick summary, Ed.
Young Niles could give Mr. Sheldon a run for his money, and I think that's a good idea. I also think with the cheers. Anyways, no. With what's going on here, I think somebody got opera tickets. Niles has been demoted to a not so cool section, and Frasier is trying to console him, and Daphne is making some Yorkshire pudding.
And the whole apartment was just destroyed.
The whole apartment was
Or
destroyed.
just destroyed in the midst of all this pudding making.
Right. And the
I was wrong about Ed paying
Opera
attention.
Society is going to be here any minute. Should we read the first half again? How much?
Oh, that's a red card.
Okay, there's opera. The entire house was destroyed. Take it away, me. Niles, Daphne, and Frasier run in.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, the
That's-
writing was so good that our host
Froze.
vanished.
We lost him.
Froze.
Ed,
We lost him.
Oh, man.
what'd you do?
That's not what it's. Can you hear me? Oh, there I am.
Oh, you're back. You're back. We were so worried about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frasier skids to a halt as he takes in an
Wait,
elaborate.
I'm sorry, Ben. Can you start from the beginning because you were frozen there for a while?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Niles, Daphne, and Frasier rush into Niles' apartment. Daphne is holding a whole cod. Frasier skids to a halt as he takes in an elaborately laid dining room table, already set out with dishes of food and ready to go.
Niles.
I just thought it was best to be prepared. I don't need to remind you how it went the last time we hosted a banquet for the bourgeois, a picnic for the patricians, appetizers for the aristocracy, noshas for the nobility, refection for the royalty.
Sporting Frank Squash.
Oh, Niles, I suppose you're right. We can argue about this later. But right now we have to go and get that cod cooked on a rod.
Niles notices Daphne holding the fish and screams.
It's raw! We can't eat raw cod! Rods, my God, why didn't you cook it at your place?
And could you
no.
take that line just one more time? It was brilliant. I just want to hear it one more time.
Cricketer's line is destroying her own script.
It's
What?
It's raw. We can't have a raw cod, Rods. My God, why didn't you cook it at your place?
Niles, you know cod rods can't be cooked ahead of time. I'm not some ball man huckstering hot dogs at a sports day. I'm a big boy with yummy treats for my friends. Throw it in your oven.
But my oven's broken. Daphne, quick! Who else do we know who might have the oven? Tell Frasier while I go search for something to cover my inky hands.
No, Niles, I won't understand her. I'll get you something for your hands. And you listen, Daphne.
To Daphne.
You listen, Daphne.
To Daphne.
To Daphne.
Frasier rushes away. From off screen, we hear him walk into the bathroom and use it without shutting the door. Ooh, that's one thing. Then we hear him run into the kitchen. Daphne begins listing people who might have an oven.
Sprott, Dangwood, Tilly Bumbers.
Roz, Bulldog, Cam Winston. Oh, but he just died.
Bangy Trempkins.
My father, Martin Crane.
Fampy Dump Dump. Mott, Pot, Lot.
Kenny from the radio station. Me, you, and Frasier. None of those help.
Two Winkley, Spock, Duke Leto.
But Alex and Frederick they're just children. And Gil doesn't have an oven. Strange because he's a food critic.
Baron, he eats out all the time. Baron Harkonnen, Paul Atreides, Chana.
Lilith doesn't live here. Noel's at a Star Trek convention. And how dare you mention Maris in this house?
I just want to say that was Daphne listing all the characters in Frasier.
I gotta actually argue.
It's a
with-
red card.
I gotta put up a red card on that
Yeah,
because
No.
we all know.
here's
Yeah,
no.
that's
Listen.
a red card.
My red card's up, so I have the speaking conch. Daphne is listing fake people and also characters from Dune. Niles is mentioning characters from Frasier, not Daphne.
I need to give you.
Who's Bangy Trumpkins?
Bangy Trumpkins is look. I'm doing a cool gag. No,
Cricket is eating into the time of the show with with her lies.
Bangy Trumpkins is Martin Crane. Look, I have to tell you a little bit about how. That's fine. I have to tell you a little bit about how language works. Language represents broader meanings, right? Daphne is speaking in Manchesterian English. It's a language that we don't understand, but that Niles does. So when she lists Fampy Dump Dump and Mott and Pot and Lot, those are the Frasier characters. We're having Niles translate.
I understand that meaning is a subjective, but also the point of having spelled out rules is to kind of rein in subjectivity and to create kind of an objective goals. Literally objectives.
She's listing their names in a different language, and I think that I request the red card be taken away and the green card be put in.
So who's Fampy Dump Dump then? So who's Fampy Dump Dump?
Fampy Dump Dump is Kenny from the radio station. They correlate.
Okay, Fampy Dump Dump. So who's Mott, Pot, and Lot?
That's Niles, Daphne, and Frasier in that order.
We're gonna have to.
Ridley is Alice. Spalk is Frederick. Duplito is Gil. Bernhard Conan is Lilith.
Quiet. We're gonna look at the chat here. We're gonna see what the chat thinks.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
What is it?
We're gonna have to wait.
I just want to say to you guys.
Here's the deal. This is gonna take a second.
Are you still looking at the chat right now?
No, the chat's gonna take chat a second to catch.
I just sent you a message.
It's gonna take chat a second to catch up. So we're gonna move on to the script and then we're gonna talk about it at the end. Okay.
True artists.
All right, everybody quiet. If you're just tuning in, I don't know how to catch you up because something really weird happened and everything's really confusing because it's Frasier.
It's not confusing. It's
not confusing.
Stupid.
It's
Frasier.
Not,
okay,
it's
listen.
a joke.
We're gonna show about time.
We're starting the script again.
From the beginning?
No, from right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Shh. Frasier runs into the room and shoves potholders at Niles.
Here, it's the best I could do.
But these aren't opera hands. These would barely pass for smooth jazz paws.
Well, they'll have to do. Did you find someone with an oven?
I'm afraid not.
Niles, if you've ruined...
Sorry.
Niles, if you've ruined my dinner twice over, I'll...
Yo, what? Don't scare me. I have protection.
Wait, I'm sorry. Niles whips out a taser. There we go.
Niles, that's it.
Frasier grabs the taser and tases the cot again and again. Smoke fills the air. Daphne, who's still holding the fish, gets a small shock with each tase. The doorbell rings.
Get the door. I'm cooking.
Fine.
Niles walks towards the door, but he is thrown off balance completely by the potholders on his hands. He walks into a statue, hitting his food hard.
That's a red card.
Cricket, instead of saying he hit his foot, she wrote food. That's a red card. He teeters into a lamp, which smashes.
Take off the potholders and get the door.
I won't. They mustn't see my inky hands.
Get the door, Niles. Daphne and I have got to keep tasing this card.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes left. Niles staggers around the apartment trying desperately to get to the door. He destroys every object in the place while Frasier and Daphne shock the hell out of the fish. Niles finally reaches the door and throws it open. No one is there.
Frasier, they're gone. Oh, I guess
the opera dopera. We all say it together. 1, 2, 3. I guess the opera dopera society won't be having our focaccia.
I would like to say something, which is I really need to. I do think that the tasing the cod is an incredibly creative device for bringing that element into the script, and my hats off to Cricket, who I really don't think should win.
Okay, well, we're checking in with the chat. Also, it's it's questions time for Cricket, but first we have to deal with the fact that Cricket messed up 2 rules, possibly. So one, the script was supposed to have Niles banging his foot, but in the script, somehow Cricket wrote the word food instead of foot, which I think that's cut and dry. I'm the judge on that one. Shark Farts in the chat is trying to say that feet can be food. And while that is somewhat true, it's too broad.
Ben, I'm not arguing this one. I am the first to admit when I've made a mistake, and I would like to apologize to the fans. I want to apologize to Ed, who gave us this hour of his life.
Now,
I wrote food.
Okay.
That one,
now,
I messed up.
Real quick, in terms of the what was the other one? It was the Daphne listing all the characters in Frasier. I'm going to give it to you because overall the chat gave green cards. So we're gonna Cricket gets that one, but it's a technicality. So you skimming by. Skimming by, is that a term?
I'm gonna do better next time.
Skidding by.
But I still think that if you look at it, I have the heart of Frasier beating in my hand, and then I smushed it right onto the page. From the page, it went into your ears, and I think it will be said that I did a good job. I messed up, but I did a good job. And if Robby wins, that's okay, but I think I should win.
Okay, great. So we'll give you one. We ran out of time, but I'm going to let you have one question from the chat, which is Mossy Lump wants to know, how did you prepare for this script? Please keep your response brief.
I watched every episode of Frasier, and I prayed to God.
Okay, thank you, Cricket. We're going to give you a clap for that. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, it's time for Robby's script. We just finished up Crickets. Now it's time for Robby's Frasier script. Robby, take it away.
Thank you, Ben. This script is called Shut up, Ed. Ben, this is called Frasier, A Night to Remember, and it has the night with a K. So
no, it doesn't.
It has night with a K.
No, it does not.
It has night with a K.
No, in the document title it does, but not on the Ben.
In the email I sent to you, it had a K. So
no, that was in the document
we go
title,
with the
but
email,
on
not with the page.
Can I get a close up of this?
Look, I get what you're saying. There's no rule about the title or whatever Robby thinks is the title is the title. That's not a part of the show.
It's a night to remember.
Night
with a K.
Night with an N.
It's
all right, Ben. Whenever you're
just a regular night. There's no pun in the title, unlike my title, which was
to remember. That's a red card.
For the love of God.
There's a lot of. I just want to point out there's a lot of red cards tonight.
Yeah. Well,
okay. The red card of my heart is disappointed in Robby for not putting a pun into his title, which everyone knows.
I didn't need to because it's night with a K.
It's not. It's an N.
Ben, whenever you're ready to start reading this great script,
okay,
take it away.
It's nighttime in Seattle, and Frasier is come home. He enters his apartment fully clothed. All the lights are off, not on. Niles and Daphne are sitting on the couch silently, not talking, fully clothed. Frasier turns on the lights so it's not dark anymore. When the lights come on, Niles and Daphne turn and stare at him. There's Frasier. The house shakes, which we think is correct. Frasier grips the door frame while staring back at Niles and Daphne. The shaking makes a number of books fall off bookshelves. The framed photos of burning barns fall off the walls. Then, as quickly as the shaking started, it ends, except it lasted 5 full minutes.
If Robby can't read his lines, I'll read them.
I just saw an incredible movie.
What was it called?
It's called Batman Future and Perfect, and it is a stunning reimagining of the Batman universe that plays proper respect to the source material and is not pornographic.
Frasier doesn't go to the movies.
Oh, go on then, dear brother. Explain the plot to us all in detail.
I need to go use the bathroom.
Stuff that they actually said.
But I need to go use the bathroom. But I will explain everything while I engage in that most private of businesses with the door open.
Frasier,
but don't worry, it won't be gross. I have techniques that I have mastered over the years, which mean that this particular activity is as quiet as it is normally opaque. What better way to explain the plot of Batman Future and Perfect?
Oh, what fun! I love my brother Frasier.
Frasier walks into the bathroom, leaving the door open, and sits down on the toilet. The shot is framed in such a way that we can see his bare knees and calves and shoes. We don't know what has happened to his pants or underwear. They are not there.
Your brother is a great man. Let's listen to what he says.
Frasier groans.
Oh,
Here he goes cracking up his own script again.
Right? If Robby can't read his lines, I think you should get a red card.
Picture this. Daphne and Niles. Batman stands alone and resolute, but tired after spending all night fighting Mr. Freeze and Clayface.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I lost the plot. Where is it?
We're on page 2 of a script that Frasier would never say.
I love to think about the exciting battle they must have had. How do we see it?
No. No, that's just the genius of the film. We don't ever see Batman fight these two villains. Instead, we are left with his very private physical and emotional exhaustion. The action is all inside.
Frasier's a highbrow comedy. This is all very engaging. Can we invite everyone we know over to listen to Dr. Frasier Crane tell us about Batman Future Imperfect from the bathroom?
Whoever do you mean?
Oh, you know, Frasier Crane, Niles, Martin, Daphne Moon, Roz Doyle.
Wait a minute. You listed us, but we're right here, and Frasier is in the bathroom throwing us with his recollection.
I have a comment, which is that's not all the characters in Frasier.
Keep going, Ben.
Okay. Why do I always have to remind you, dear? There are 2 of the 3 of us. Hey, see? There's the second Dr. Frasier Crane under the piano.
Indeed.
Wait, the second Frasier Crane waves cautiously from under the piano.
Indeed.
And there I am, by that priceless work of art, depicting a burning barn.
The second Daphne takes the art off the wall and throws it. The second Daphne takes the art off the wall and throws it on the ground. Smash.
I guess everyone's a critic.
Before I move on to the rest of the names, there you are in the kitchen with your potholder gloves on. Take those potholder gloves off, Niles, too. We're listening to Frasier 1 tell us about the movie Batman Future Imperfect.
The second Niles shakes his head and pulls a taser. That's 2. Give me 2 dings.
I guess dinner is ruined.
Well, it's the third one. The house shakes for a full 5 minutes again.
Can you read that again?
The house shakes for a full 5 minutes again.
Have you all forgotten about me? This is barely halfway done.
Okay, I think that means it is halfway done. Is that the halfway done line?
You can
Robby?
read the next action. I think.
Okay, the audience, which has remained silent up until this moment, laughs hysterically for approximately 2 minutes.
I like that right in the script, he announces that the script is halfway done.
Niles 1 jumps off the couch and tries to run out of the apartment, but bangs his foot on the side table and falls on his face, breaking his nose. Stop. This time for we're doing the mid-script break. All right. So, Robby.
Hey Ben, I feel like this is doing exactly what it needs to do, which is two things. One is it is taking cricket down a notch, and it is raising up my Batman script from last week.
Okay.
I just want to say something back to that because Robby said my name, so by the rules I get to say something, which is...
This isn't a presidential
Robby,
debate.
I would like to yield 2 minutes to myself. Robby, I just wanted to thank you for the flattery of taking the device that I invented in my script last week of having 2 of each character and doing a sort of homage to me in your script by using that exact same device that I used in my script last week. It is really sweet to see a good writer like you understanding how good my ideas are.
Well, I have to say that actually what I did with your script from last week was I took it into, it was in my memory and I crushed it and it became nothing. So this was built up from that.
But what's interesting about the subconscious is that it's still in there, even if you And you know that if you watch Frasier, because
That's
it's
the
a show
red
about
card for
psychiatrists.
Cricket because she's taken over my Q&A midway.
Robbie, this is a very important part of the show where you have to tell us your relationship to Frasier. Tell us a memory you have about Frasier, how you have come about Frasier.
Right.
Talk about it.
So I learned about Frasier from when it was on TV, and then I stopped thinking about it until last week when you said we were going to do Frasier. And then rather than thinking about Frasier, I thought about Batman and how much I thought how good that script was. And so I decided to write what you know. And so rather than trying to make it up, I made what is essentially a biography of the script that I wrote from last week.
Okay.
So you're admitting
in the form
that
of Frasier. Frasier's the vehicle.
Okay.
Can we get Ed's comments as somebody who loves Frasier?
We don't have time for Ed. I'm sorry.
There are fun avenues to traverse, Shelton.
Ed, I hope you're having a great time tonight.
I am.
Okay, so we have to check in with the chat because they're asking a lot of questions here. Okay, to me, they're asking me a question. Ben, why no red card for Robby referencing his own fan fiction that doesn't exist in the Frasier universe? There's not a rule against it.
There's
so
not
I don't
a
give
rule
him a red
against it,
card.
so you get your account deleted and you don't get to vote.
Where is the dog and old guy that sleeps on the chair? Yeah, that's a good question, Robbie. Where are those characters?
My name's
That's obviously not in Frasier. They're confusing it with another show.
Okay. And let's see.
You're digging your own hole, and I'm just handing you shovel after shovel, baby.
Hey, the hole is fucking warm.
People are saying,
I'm got a blanket in here. So.
Shark Farts, big friend of the show. Shark Farts says Robbie has extra Nileses, so he's gaining points in my book.
Oh,
so
no.
You
pretty
Shark
good.
Farts. Shark Farts is okay in my book.
Likes Emmanuel says points off for lack of consistency in the Frasier universe. So we're getting it's you know what I mean. We're getting.
It's called Fan Fiction Showdown, not Frasier Universe Consistency Showdown.
Well, it is called Fan Fiction Showdown : Frasier.
Yeah, but what does that mean then?
You know what else is funny is it's called The Night to Remember with an N, not The Night to Remember with a K.
I just want to say that
we're talking about what things are called.
Sorry, Ed. I'm sorry I missed your wedding.
Hey, that's cool.
There's been a lot of questioning what the nature of reality is and what meaning is so far on this show, and I know what you guys are doing, and stop it. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so let's go back to the script. I will update everybody. If you're just tuning in, we already read Crickets. We're halfway through Robby's. We're coming back into Robby's Frasier script. Things are heating up. Let me tell you where we are in the script. Now, Robby is just basically having Frasier talk all about his Batman script from last week because Robby admittedly doesn't know very much about Frasier. So what else is happening? There's two Frasiers. One's on the toilet.
There's two of everyone.
There's a Frasier on the toilet, and there's a Frasier under the piano, and then there's a Niles with potholder gloves. And where's the other Niles?
The other Niles is on the couch with Daphne.
Okay.
Or it was, but he got up and
he got up. So and that's where we are. They're talking about movies.
There's also two Daphnes.
Okay, great. So
it's a really great device.
It's like
that I invented.
Great.
Okay, so Niles 1 jumps off the couch and tries to run out of the apartment, but bangs his foot on the side table and falls on his face, breaking his nose.
Brother, tell us more about Batman.
Niles, further proof that you are the beginning and the end. I heard you fall down. Anyway, back to my recollection of the film. Shortly after Batman expresses his emotional state to Alfred, oh, here comes another. Alfred explains to Batman that the fundraiser that Bruce Wayne held in order to mitigate the damage caused by Mr. Freeze has been reported as a disaster.
Mitigate.
Daphne?
Sorry. You know who would really to hear Dr. Crane talk about Batman Future Imperfect?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
Niles 1 perks up but stays flat on the floor, nursing his bleeding nose. Now go ahead.
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
Sherry Dempsey, these are the actors. Sherry Dempsey, Faye Moskowitz, Mel Karnowski, Charlotte Connor, Kelly Easterbrook, Ronnie Lawrence, Claire French, David Crane, Eddie Frederick. These are Hester Crane, Maris Crane, Nikos Crane, Walter Wald Crane, Zora Crane, Lily Sternin, Nanette Gutzman, a.k.a. Nanny G, Aunt Vivian, Aunt Louise.
Who else?
Bob Bulldog Briscoe, Chopper Dave, Father Mike Mancuso,
Wikipedia.
Gil Chesterton, Greg, Julia Wilcox, Kate Costas, Kenny Daly, Nen Miller, Noel Shemsky, Poppy Delafield, Thomas Tom Duran, Gertrude Moon, that's me mom, Granny Moon, Harry Moon, Michael Moon, Simon Moon, Stephen Moon, Billy Moon, Nigel Moon, Peter Moon, David Moon, Alice Doyle, Dennis Dawson, Jen Doyle, Joanna Doyle, Rick Garrett.
I had no idea there was this many characters on Frasier.
I'm not done. Marta, Yoshi, Ngi, Nadia, Sam Malone, Diane Chambers, Woody Boyd, Cliff Clavin, Norm Peterson, Carla Tortielli, BB Glazer, Donnie Douglas, Jerome Velasco, Kirby Gardner, Bob Gardner, Lena Gardner, Derek Mann, Cam Winston, Duke James, and of course, Dr. Frasier Crane.
Frasier's house shakes again, this time for a full 10 minutes before anyone has any lines.
Could I take my last few lines again?
Sorry, Cricket, we gotta burn through this.
We gotta move it.
This won't do. There it is. See, what happened at Bruce Wayne's charity event was that he had encouraged people to punch enormous blocks of ice, and that acted as an activity for the donors. Unfortunately for Bruce Wayne, people who punch ice get injured very badly, and the society section of the Gotham newspaper, which is on the front page of the paper, gave his event a very bad score. It was a device to Batman's unending struggle with Mr. Freeze and Clayface.
Dear brother, I love you very much. I'll say that. But I don't think Daphne, has finished listing all the people we wish were here listening to this remarkable story.
Oh, I think I have done enough to satisfy everyone. There are some minor characters that we know, but I don't think I have to mention them.
Dear Lord, this has been such an eye-opening experience.
Niles opens his eyes so wide that his eyeballs fall out of his head and roll around on their own. The audience laughs so hard that all the glass in Frasier's house shatters.
I can't wait to hear how Batman manages to get himself out of this predicament.
Yes, I'm all ears.
The audience laughs so hard that the second versions of Frasier, Daphne, and Niles all die immediately. Up to this point, everything but is silent as creeps. Really don't know what you meant there. Okay, let's just take that one again. Up to this point, they have acted like a mute Greek chorus, aware of everything but is silent as creeps. And now they are all fucking dead immediately.
Well, that's just the thing, because before Batman can pull himself together, Catwoman flies into the house in her wingsuit and tells Batman that she... Oh, Jesse James, this hurts. It's a thankful thing that no one can see or hear what is happening between my body and the pan beneath it. Catwoman tells Batman that she plans to kidnap Bruce Wayne.
Oh dear, we can't have that, can we?
No, we can't, least of all because Batman is Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne is Batman. They are one and the same. Oh, mein Leben.
Don't scuttle the plot, dear. Brother, does Catwoman succeed? I'm dying on the floor in anticipation.
No, even though she threatens to shoot herself if she doesn't get her ways.
Oh dear, all the violence in the media these days.
The audience laughs so hard that the outer walls of Frasier's apartment crumbles and we can see the Seattle skyline filled with airships and searchlights.
But Batman outsmarts her, you see. He distracts her by having her drink warm water with him and Alfred. In doing so, he eliminates both the threat of Catwoman and realizes that he can pour warm water on Gotham in order to save it from Mr. Freeze. Oh, Admiral, Master and Commander!
That's the code word, my loving brother. Should be exiting the bathroom any moment now.
I'm must say, Dr. Crane, this Batman movie sounds like it was quite well written. I was on the edge of my seat, picturing every step of it very clearly. You were right, Dr. Crane. It managed to expand my understanding of Batman while not being a porno.
I'm sorry. Frasier walks back into the living room. He looks like he has lost 1,000 pounds. His body looks inverted like it should have a big donut hole in the center. He also looks significantly younger.
That's a question, Ben.
He also looks significantly younger?
Yes, I'm done explaining everything. Well. It looks like all the second versions of us have been killed, and the outer wall is collapsed. I can see all of Seattle. Why can't an evening at home ever be simple?
The audience applauds this line. If we could see them, they would be standing.
Point of order, that's the end of page 7, which is a loud page.
No, this is it.
I'll handle it. Just keep going.
I'm sorry. No, I just want to say,
Thank you.
Robbie,
You're absolutely right, Cricket. Just keep going.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I guess the only thing left to do is kill Niles.
Oh, dear.
Don't worry, I'll do it, Dr. Crane. You'll tire yourself out if you do anything else.
I don't know what I would do without you.
Goodbye, brother.
Goodbye, Niles. I hope we see each other again.
I'd like that.
Daphne gets off the couch, walks over to Niles 1, who has been laying on the floor ever since he tripped and broke his nose. She steps on his neck so hard it snaps. This is a special episode that is an hour long. The end. Okay, so Robby gets a red card.
Why?
Because he broke a rule. One of the overall rules, and I'll read it verbatim, or it's not verbatim, but, it's written. No longer than 7 pages.
Yeah, but you're counting the title pages.
No,
7
because
pages.
Robbie,
No,
this
that's
is page
with the
0.
counter. With the
This is 1. This
I don't know. I can't argue
No.
with somebody
Robbie,
who's clearly
it's too
living in a
long.
different reality.
It's too
Robbie,
long. I just want to say it's too long. Okay, but we have to move quickly. It's questions time for Robbie.
Yeah, obviously.
All right. So we have only time for one question.
Okay. Which is fair because Cricket got to answer like 100.
Okay. Ruiner Sid.
Because
you only
my
got one.
script was short
Ruiner Sid says, Robbie, why did Frasier need to kill Niles? Good question.
Well, that's sort of a device to make sure the audience knows that the episode is over, because when you have that many characters on screen at any time, it doesn't feel right that the episode doesn't continue going for ever and ever. So you need like what is called like a exit strategy. That's like a writing term that people use, exit strategy, to get out of the episode. Usually it's with somebody breaking a bone.
Very cool. Very, 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 very I Okay, thank you.
It was cool.
All right.
It was a great question. Thank you for that. And also, I really want to, I respect Cricket, and I think that she did a wonderful job reading the part of Daphne. I respect Ed a little less than Cricket, but I also thank Ed very much.
I respect you a lot, Robbie. Let's just say you'd be higher than 37 on my list of best friends.
Well, he's number 5 on my list, so... Okay, so...
That's the first hand.
Robbie's my... So if you're just tuning in, Robbie's my 5th best friend, Cricket's my 2nd, and Ed is 29. So, okay, but we finished both scripts, and guess what?
Time to vote.
The polls are open, baby. Go to let me look at the
Go3030.com.
Shut up, Ed. Go to tinyurl.com/fanficsd. That's tinyurl.com/fanficsd. That's tinyurl.com/fanficsd, and put in your vote for Cricket or Robbie, whoever you thought did better. Okay, now we're going to give you some time to vote. And in the meantime, it's time for the costume contest.
That's awesome. This is where Ed gets to shine.
Here you go, Ed. This is your moment.
Yeah.
So every week we have
notes.
a costume contest.
Number 1. Here we go.
That people make costumes from the stuff they have in their house because it's quarantine. And so let's see those costumes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very good.
That's like a Lilith in a suit. Or no, wait, I can't see the
No,
face.
that's
I think
Niles.
that's Niles by
That's
Benjamin.
Niles. All right. Really good. Next.
Ed, why don't you say something nice about the picture?
Yeah, no, it's good. And that orange tie,
I mean-
I feel like that kind of gaudy
He-
is very 90s.
He is in the toilet. He's on by the toilet, which goes along with the themes from Robbie's. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Next picture, please. This is us. This isn't a costume
We've
contest.
come way up.
This is us.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It's Frasier by Anonymous, and is that the
Interesting.
DSM that
Okay,
person's
all right.
holding? They
What's
must.
on the head there? Is like a sack
All right,
of penis
Cricket.
sack or something.
That was cool.
It
but
looks
can,
like they
all right,
just want to
next.
look like Frasier.
You
Next.
should show a
That's
picture
good.
from my.
Interesting. Maris, well, that's good because you never see Maris. For folks who haven't seen the show,
I think this is an amazing interpretation of Maris.
and that's like Pitchfork best new music so far.
Yeah, Robbie's not
Absolutely.
laughing because he doesn't know about Frasier, so he doesn't get the joke.
Okay,
But that's
this-
okay. He has his own
It's like
interests.
some kid.
It
Maris
could also
is
be the nanny
yeah.
from Muppet Babies.
Oh, hey.
Oh wow!
Oh, dude.
With a
yeah.
reference photo.
Yeah. There's an episode where Niles is throwing a party for all the people in his
Look
fancy
at
building.
look at how similar their faces actually are. Their noses and mouths are and their chins are extremely
That's
similar.
phenomenal. Phenomenal. Two in a
Very
row.
very good. Very very good. All right, next.
Oh, wow. That's everybody on Frasier. That's amazing.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Tight. I love
They
Marty.
really did a
Marty's
great
looking
job.
awesome.
And the
Marty's looking
dog.
good.
yeah. The dog's really good, and they brought that box out for the dog to sit on.
Truly impressed.
Oh,
All
and
right.
the walker, yeah, that walker's that's a snazzy little walker.
Extremely
Kyle
big.
points.
I do want to say that they're not social distancing well, but
I
other
think
than
they're
that,
roommates.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it. The
They're
elephant
not.
in the room.
I don't think we should pass judgment on what constitutes.
is that
family.
was that the last costume?
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Okay, Ed, unceremoniously, which one won?
I think the person after the garbage bag had, or the
Joe Botnick, the parrot?
That was the same one.
the
same
parrot
guy.
guy. Yeah, the parrot. I think
Joe
she done-
Botnick,
Joe Botnick.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Joe Botnick. That was
Mhm.
awesome.
New winner.
Because it shows it
new
explicates-
winner. All right, Joe
it
Botnick, way to go.
explicates that you've seen the
Now,
show.
This
You
is where I
understand the
announce.
show.
This is where I announce next week's theme and the email address that you send your costumes to for the costume contest. Next week's theme is Dragon Ball Z. That's
Very
right.
excited. Very
Dragon
excited
Ball
about
Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
And now send your Dragon Ball Z costumes to fanficshowdown@gmail.com. That's fanficshowdown@gmail.com. Now it's time. The polls are still open. tinyurl.com/fanficsd. Go there, vote. While the polls are open, we're going to talk to Ed for a second. Ed, guess what? It's time for a surprise quiz.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm
Now,
really
here's the deal. We've loved having you. If you get 2 out of 3 right in this quiz, you are allowed to come back. If you don't, you are banished forever immediately from the show.
This is like, wait, don't help me, but it doesn't suck.
Okay, so because it's Frasier, we're doing a grammar quiz.
Ooh, Kelsey Grammer, play on words.
All right, first question for Ed.
Okay.
Who is a pronoun used for blank? Whom is a pronoun used for
Subjects. I'm going to go with, B, B, objects and subjects.
I actually can't remember the answer to this one. Just a second.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's like, you need to go, back.
Wait, what was your answer? What was your answer?
I think, if my shrunken white knowledge is correct, objects and subjects.
Sorry, that's wrong.
Minored in English.
It's A. It was A.
Let me keep the helmet. You know what I
I guess
mean?
Ed is
Sorry,
in
Ed.
trouble. So
Sorry, Ed. It was
That's
A.
fine.
All right, next
Not
question.
underrated.
Not doing so good so far. Okay, which one is correct? Frasier left the party with Daphne and I. Frasier left the party with Daphne and myself. Frasier left the party with Daphne and me.
Oh, C, Daphne and me. Easy one.
You got it. That's correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Born to do this.
All right, next.
except for you got the first one wrong.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, wait,
But that's okay, Robbie.
this is the same question. Oh, there you go. Okay, which one's correct? You're not fooling anyone, Niles. You're not fooling anyone, Niles. Or you'ren't fooling anyone, Niles.
It's easy.
You're
to
not.
see.
I'm gonna say it's. I feel. I understand why you think C, but I feel like there's a contingency of belief that is fueling me towards A, and I want to go in that.
All right. He says A, and guess what, Ed? That is incorrect. You are banished from the show forever and immediately. Please cover. If you could please stay on the call, but cover the microphone. What is it called? The camera with your hand.
Webcam.
Oh yes, with that picture of Frasier, and just hold it there for the rest of the show and don't talk.
but make
Okay.
sure we can see in between your fingers so that we can see the cardboard cutout of Frasier behind you.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
This is Kelsey
time-
Grammer now, by the way, making it even cooler. Sorry.
It's time to see who won.
Oh, I just want to say, I think you did a really good job this week, Robby, with
Oh,
parts
wow.
of it. And it's okay, whatever happens. And
I don't know
love
how
you.
to make this part exciting other than I like that you guys are saying nice things to each other, but by a landslide, it's Robby Rackless.
Okay.
That's how it's done. Yes. Yes.
With
Yes!
music.
Robby number 1. I'm taking it to the bank.
No, I think this
I'm
is
taking
good.
it on the bus to the bank.
I think this is good because it means we're tied, and that means that we're back together. We're tied. It's like
I
we're
smell
tied.
blood. I smell blood. I'm a
Together
shark.
in
I'm in the
friendship.
water. Ed's red. So that means that there's blood in the water. There's Ed's blood. There's Cricket's blood. And Ben's blood. And
No,
I'm the
it's
shark.
okay.
And I sniff the blood. And I come after every one of you. So you're all toast.
Okay, thank you guys. That's the show. Ed,
Thank you.
if you like Ed or you think he's cool, which you might,
I do.
go to edschrader.bandcamp.com and check out his music. Buy his music. He's super amazing musician. Check it out. Love you, Ed. Thank you so much for coming. Please cover up the camera, though. Please
Young
keep covering
Niles.
up your
Young
camera.
Niles. Young Niles.
Ed, you're
right.
not allowed to talk. So, okay, next week's Dragon Ball Z. Send your costumes in, and please tune in so that you can choose the winner. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night. Ben.
Congratulations to Robby. I'm so proud of you.
Shut up.
Oh, we're all worthy of love, especially me.